Welcome to the Book Studio. I'm your host, Beth Ann Patrick, and today I am delighted to be here with the singular Walter Mosley. His new Leonid McGill mystery, Known to Evil, is out now. I'm just thrilled to be speaking with you. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, this is your second Leonid McGill book, but he's not just different from E.Z. Rawlins in almost every way. He's also based in a different place. So what made you want to write about a character in New York rather than California?
Well, you know, I've been living in New York for 30 years, so it's about time that I wrote something about New York. That's one thing. The other thing is that the E.Z. Rawlins books and also Fearless Jones were an homage to my father's generation and those primarily black men, but black people in general in Southern California who have no history because they never made it into the books of literature because of, you know, the exclusion. And so I was writing those books for my father, about my father and his generation. But we're in the 21st century now, and what's salient now is not those books and those times. And so I need to write about a new character, a character who reflected my life to some degree. And so I brought it to New York and I started writing it there.
And, you know, in this one, Leonid travels further along his extremely bumpy road to redemption. And is this series your own redemption song in a way?
No. My understanding is this, and for the last 40 years, America's been doing a lot of things. Many of them are not very good things. And now all of a sudden, within the last couple of years, America has decided it wants to turn around and start doing good. Now, this is almost impossible. After you've been doing bad for so long, you know, the idea that all of a sudden you're going to start doing good, it's almost ridiculous, but it's the right thing. Leonid is America. Leonid is America. He's been a criminal for nearly 40 years, and he all of a sudden one day realized, that's not right. I've been doing the wrong thing. I have to make amends, which is impossible, but I have to try anyway.
Yet he's America named by a communist father after one of his father's heroes.
Absolutely.
You know, another thing about Leonid, of course, is that he is a man in the midst of many ethnicities and races. And you've talked about the fact that it's racism that makes race rather than the other way around.
Right.
Now, in this book, Leonid often notices people's race and physical characteristics. And the people he notices, of course, it's 21st century, you know, we're all of mixed race now, in a way. So what does that say about him, and what does that say about this notion that he sort of is America as well?
Well, I think that it's in a way, Leonid is criticizing America and what America is. So in The Long Fall, for instance, when he wakes up, you know, from having been knocked out by this gigantic white guy, he realizes that the three white men in the room, the Irish cop, the Mediterranean, tiny Mediterranean lawyer, and this gigantic kind of Scandinavian criminal who tried to kill him, that in Europe, 500 years before, they would have all been considered different races. So and his understanding of it is more a criticism than a perpetuation of it.
Gotcha.
You know?
Gotcha. Very interesting. So if E.Z. Rawlins is a kind of everyman, who is Leonid McGill?
Oh, Leonid McGill is an everyman. He's just an everyman for the 21st century.
I see. Yeah. I see. Now, in this book also, you know, you are exploring something that's been going on in New York for so long, which is organized crime. And also the kinds of people who are able to pull lots of strings, like his arch villain, like his nemesis in this book. I can't really say arch villain, can I? Because Leonid is, you know, bad too.
Yeah, well, not quite as bad. Not quite as arch.
And so what is, you know, known to evil? What does that really signify for this book?
Well, that title is really about the client. Leonid is hired by the most powerful man in New York, the special assistant to the city of New York, to find a woman. He's looking for this woman, and as he looks for her, he's worried that she might really be the one in danger, and she might be in danger from the guy who's hired him. And so she's an innocent person. She has no idea of what's going on, what has been going on in her life for all these many years. But she's known to evil. And because she's known to evil, she's in jeopardy. And Leonid is trying his best to protect her without letting her know her situation.
Well, it's a very curious situation because, and I'm sorry that I've forgotten the assistant, the supervisor.
Alfonse Rinaldo.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Alfonse. Alfonse says, I don't want to talk to her. I don't want to see her. I don't want to touch her. It's a very curious situation that Leonid finds himself in because he can't find out anything more about her. He's the one who has to do all of the finding. And so I'm wondering if this is also something in this new series that you're looking at things being lost, things that can't be traced down quite so easily, if this is one of Leonid's themes.
Well, you know, but again, that's another way of saying, you know, the mysteries of life, you know, how one deals with things. I mean, so many people are suffering under, you know, miscomprehensions. Like, he has 3 children. 2 of them he didn't father.
Right.
But the wife says he did, and the children think he did, and so he treats them as his children. But he knows they're not his children. Only one of them's his children. The one who is his child doesn't like him.
Right.
But everybody is living that kind of life where they think they know what's happening, but they don't really know. Again, this is another criticism of America. Often, you know, we think we know. We're told. People tell us things. They assume things about life, and these things aren't true. And it's the question is should we know or shouldn't we know? And this is what Leonid is always dealing with.
Well, it's true, because I was going to say, you know, as you mentioned, Dmitri is the son, you know, whom he believes is his own, but doesn't like him, whereas Twilliam who's a marvelous character, is the one who actually treats him the way a son would.
Well, loves him and with great deference, and also Twill, who's not his, is his favorite.
Exactly.
You know.
Where does that name come from?
I don't know. I just made it up, but it's a good name, isn't it?
It is a good name.
I like that name, Twill.
So what's going to come next for Leonid? Is that what you're working on now, or do you have something else?
I'm writing the new book. Leonid is, you know, again, Twill is once more in trouble.
Excellent. Not that he's in trouble, but
yeah. Well, you know, it is kind of excellent, he's having to, you know, having to solve a crime at the same time as trying to save his son, and and deal, with other people. It's a lot of fun. The thing I like about the Leonid McGill novels is that there's always a crime, of some sort that has to be solved. But Leonid is his private life, his personal life, is actually always more important than whatever crime that he's trying to solve, and he's trying to deal with that in the meanwhile.
And often his private life is messier than anything else, even if the crimes are morally, ethically, legally worse. So really, really interesting. When will we see that?
Any year. Every year for the next 8 years, I'm going to come out with a Leonid McGill novel.
Excellent. Yeah. That's a great thing to hear. Well, the book now is Known to Evil. And Walter Mosley, thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Join us next time on the Book Studio.